The 7 laws you should never ignore. The universe runs on natural laws. Apples fall, birds fly, we live, we die. People in the past have taken the time to study these laws so that humanity can use it to their advantage. Because of this, we now know how to push against gravity to fly, and we use the knowledge that one day we must die to live more fulfilling lives. Some say that there are 12 of these laws, while others, like Hermes Trismegistus, say that there are 7. In this video, I'm going to explain what these 7 principles of Hermeticism are, and I'm going to show you how to apply them to your life. I am Shaw the Artist, and I condense large and complicated topics into short and engaging videos so that you can learn something new in a matter of minutes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button now and like this video so we can continue to have meaningful conversations together. Hermeticism is a branch of Gnosticism, and it follows the philosophy that God is a magician, but we won't dive into that in this video. This idea came about from texts that were translated in the late 1400s in Florence, Italy. These texts are believed to be written by an ancient demigod named Hermes Trismegistus. Being a Gnostic tradition, Hermeticism focuses on the pursuit of gnosis, meaning the pursuit of knowledge of spiritual and mystical matters. You see, in ancient times, all major religions gatekept the most important spiritual knowledge. The Gnostics, and later the Hermetics, rebelled against this. They developed a way of thinking that helped them communicate with God directly, without the need for priests, rabbis, or any other religious middlemen. So, what kind of man was Hermes Trismegistus, and what made him so widely influential? Hermes Trismegistus is presented as a combination of the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek god Hermes, who are both gods of writing and magic. Besides Thoth and Hermes, Hermes Trismegistus is also associated with the planet Mercury, Enoch/Metatron, and Moses, to name a few. He wrote about 7 different principles. They are the core of Hermetic philosophy. They are as follows: the principle of mentalism, the principle of correspondence, the principle of vibration, the principle of polarity, the principle of rhythm, the principle of cause and effect, and the principle of gender. The principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This means that the universe itself, at a foundational level, is mental. All life, matter, and energy are all thoughts of an infinite, perfect, living mind, which we are all connected to. This mind is everything that was, everything that is, and everything that will be. And it is also nothing at the same time. Though we can never fully understand this creative force, we can compare it to a perfect living mind. In this realm, down here on Earth, nothing manifests until you think about it first. In other words, your thoughts create your reality. We can use this to directly improve our lives. The lesson drawn from this principle is that if we think the right thoughts, the right actions will follow, and our preferred reality will be created. Let this principle be a reminder that it is vital to slow down and plan carefully. Spend time reflecting on your true passions and identify your life's purpose. Once you have done so, your personal thoughts will be aligned with the thoughts of the great living mind, making it easier to create the reality that you desire. How to apply it. Consider the initial thought that led you to watch this video. Why are you here? What are you looking for? When we recognize how much our thoughts manifest every day, whether internally through our emotional state or externally as the things we consume online or the places we go, we see that we can control our minds and we can control our lives. We get better at this through the pursuit of knowledge and through spiritual practices such as mindfulness. The principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. There is always a correlation between what is happening in this world around us and what is happening in the worlds above us. We live in the third dimension. If you draw a line on a piece of paper, that is the first dimension. If you then connect those lines together and create a person, that is a two-dimensional figure. If you upload that image to a computer and render it to look 3D, it is actually still 2D. And because we are in the third, we can look down into 2D and 1D, and we can manipulate those dimensions from our imagination or our higher selves. There are also beings in the fourth, fifth, sixth dimensions and so on who are above us. They can see us and they understand that the past, present and future operate at the same time. The fourth dimension is called a tesseract or Metatron's cube. It forms something called a quasi-crystal and it casts a shadow. And the shadow that it casts creates the realm that we are living in here on Earth. We are living in the shadow of a higher dimension. So, the more we study this dimension, the more we can be aware of what is happening in higher dimensions. This is vital knowledge for us truth seekers, because we can tell what is happening in the cosmos by observing the world around us and our internal landscape. How to apply it. Applying this law is about understanding your connection to the world around you and how you're showing up for yourself and the universe through your actions. It is about beginning to take the steps, however small they might be, towards our goals. When we have a firm grasp on how we're interacting with life and how it's affecting us, we can recognize and break patterns and live in alignment with our highest good. The principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Everything in this world is expressed through vibration, and we have different experiences inside of these different rates of vibration. The second we have a thought, it gives off a vibration. The more it's thought about, the more momentum is given, and eventually it becomes real. How to apply it. Knowing this, Hermetics believed that thoughts could be controlled like tuning an instrument. This will look different for everyone, but you want to not only do things, but think thoughts that allow you to be in a state of ease, where your body is vibrating at a more positive level. Applying the first two principles can help you to start to do this. You might be noticing that all of these principles are interwoven. We must begin to control our vibration rather than letting our vibration control us. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. This principle explains that there are two poles in everything, and that opposites are really only two extremes of the same thing, the difference only being in degree. An obvious example of this is hot and cold. Both are temperatures that vary only in degree. And there is no clear crossover moment when hot stops being hot and starts becoming cold, and vice versa, with no absolutes on either end. The same can be said of love and hate. How many times has our extreme love for our partners seemingly vanished, or changed into disgust. When this happens, there is no clear point when one emotion becomes another. This is because the emotion we feel towards the other person is the same, but because we are human, our perception naturally fluctuates. The principle of polarity exists to explain these paradoxes. How to apply it? This takes a degree of mental stamina. It involves shifting the way you look at something. Take the hate that you may feel for someone. Is there any way that you can shift these feelings towards love? If we can do this, then anytime a lower vibrational emotion starts to bring us down, we can identify it, feel it, and transform it into something more positive. This is the art of mental alchemy. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows in and out. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. In between the opposite poles of the principle of polarity is the pendulum swing of the principle of rhythm. This law is so important because what we are seeing as we move into this new age of Aquarius is a redemption arc. There is a return happening, which means that if there was ever a group of people or a movement or specific knowledge that has ever been suppressed or oppressed, the complete opposite will now come into play. It will go through its hero redemption arc, and however strong of a degree was pushed to one side of the pendulum will be the exact intensity that the pendulum swings out to its opposite side. So, when we are using the law of rhythm, we are actually learning to step back and look at the larger picture, because we have the wisdom to view it without any biases. Knowing this, we, as alchemists, can extract ourselves from the momentum of karma and consciously position ourselves where we want to be on this pendulum swing. By consciously choosing our position, we can neutralize ourselves there. And that is how we avoid the karmic pull of the material world. How to apply it? Know that nothing lasts forever, and things are always changing. As you get deeper into working with this law, you will be able to work with your own emotional states to avoid dramatic, pendulum-like mood swings. As you master this, you will be able to completely transcend duality. But if you're just getting started, try becoming more aware of your emotional state. Make peace with it and get more comfortable with the natural ebbs and flows of life. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. This principle embodies the fact that there is a cause for every effect and an effect for every cause, meaning that there is no such thing as coincidence. This law is also known as karma. Karma also operates on higher planes of consciousness, meaning the cause of what's happening to us is not always coming from the material realm. This is the alchemist's answer to why bad things happen to good people. This principle can dramatically improve our lives if we use this knowledge in the same way that the ancient alchemists did. They shifted the way that they were affected by that particular cause. When we use our own conscious free will to shift the way we react to any negative outcome, we are able to transcend that karmic thread and escape our undesired fates. How to apply it? When something doesn't go as planned, or you find yourself unhappy, let yourself feel and move through those negative emotions. Then ask yourself, what was the cause? Many times we find ourselves reacting to the world around us rather than forging our own path. When we take action to get the effect we want, we move away from feeling like a victim and move towards feeling empowered. The principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. The seventh principle states that all things have masculine and feminine qualities. On the physical plane, this manifests as the two sexes, and together the masculine and feminine creates life. Masculine and feminine energy also exists on the mental plane and on the spiritual plane too. On the mental plane, we can use the masculine and feminine energies within us to create art, poetry, music, and so on. Humanity is slowly coming to understand that on an internal level, all of us hold both energies. Not just in the sense of human sexuality, but think more of the left and right brain. Unifying our masculine energy, which is action, and our feminine energy, which is creativity, makes us magnetic. And this is the secret to pulling forward our manifestations. How to apply it. Accept all parts of yourself and understand that balance is the key for self-mastery. When we can achieve this balance within ourselves, we are well equipped to harness all of these principles of hermeticism and use them in our lives for good. These 7 laws are deeply intertwined with each other. The reason for this is because it is actually one law that is emanated in 7 different ways. But remember, these are just principles. By themselves, they are useless and they mean nothing. But if you can creatively apply them, they will change your life. To help you achieve this, I've posted some questions/prompts in the comment section. Make sure you let me know some of your answers and turn on your post notifications, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you thought it was useful. Subscribe to learn more about philosophy and raising your frequency. I put out new videos every week. If you're still watching, I love you the most. Thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next one.